just in case. My boy Jelli has sent me a DA run. Deadly Assault, deadass, if you want to call it that. I like calling it that. He sent me a DA run. Now, Jelli, if you want, you can actually let us know in the chat, like maybe if this is your first clear or if you've been having trouble clear and how you felt about it, and then go from there. And that'll be pretty cool. I want to go over it. I want to look at it and maybe see if there's some things that could be improved, or if he played it to the best of his abilities or their abilities, right? But it ain't nothing too crazy. We're gonna work through it and then push it together. Let's look at what we got on screen, okay? How I barely got my first 3 stars on Deadly Assault. Damn, first 3 stars. Congrats. Congrats. We could definitely help out with this. That team sounds fun. I think it is pretty interesting. Damn, Bernice put in that much work over Evelyn though. We got to see what's going on. Okay, so even without me seeing the gameplay, I can see right now you weren't playing Evelyn, right? You were playing Bernice. My guy was playing Bernice. He was not playing Evelyn. Evelyn should not have 400 points of contribution. Nicole being around 1,000 is probably okay, depending on how you spread it out. But let's go ahead and look at it. Oh yeah, we got that Naruto Storm music too. Okay, we're actually playing Bernice, Nicole Piper. Oh yeah. Nice, there you go. Good parries. You got to be careful now. You know, you only got 1 more point. That's your last point. No more parries. And you're nowhere near stun. So in a situation like this, if we could rewind it just for a little bit, so that maybe we can walk you through it for the next time, right? Let's go ahead and start you off at the maximum parry real quick, which I believe is almost instantly, yeah? So when you come out of the gate, you typically want to start off with Bernice, which I do believe you did, right? With the burns. You get the burns off right here. And in Piper's case, Piper, you don't want to really burn, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't want to burn all your meter when you don't have the opportunity to burn all your meter, right? Pompey is really moving around a lot. And so not having a stunner on this team, even though this stunner is, or this team is anomaly focused, I feel like when you're fighting a single target, you don't really need Nicole. Nicole is nice, don't get me wrong. But I think you benefit more from having a character like Seth or a lighter, or even Anby if that's all you have, right? Just having a solid stunner in the middle would be more beneficial for you. So now you're going to get your parry right here with Piper. Good dodge. You're going again, and then you're going again. Right there, because you're already down, right? So 2 things. If you notice what's happening here, you're losing more than 1 parry because he's hitting you with heavy attacks, right? Bernice comes out. Bernice really, you know, she got her little flamethrower. She's not doing a lot of parries. It's light on the parry work, right? So she takes more parry meter or more assist meter than somebody else. Piper has a big ass axe, so she takes 1. Nicole has a suitcase, so I guess that makes her take 1 too. But now you're down to only 3, and now you're down to 1. I lied. Nicole also takes heavy attacks. Yeah, that's how that works. That's why stunners or heavy characters, right? Characters with bigger weapons or whatever, if they say it in their kit, they only take 1. And it's very important to pay attention to that. The reason I'm pointing this out is because you only have, what is that, like 14 or something like that for the stun meter, but you only have 1 parry left. And then when we play it back a little bit further, there's 1 more attack he's about to do here, and you waste it. And so now you have to fight for your life with no parry, right? But what you could have done, see, because now you're just taking hits for free. You could have used your parries on situations, and this just comes down to like playing more and more, right? Like learning when you can and can't do it. Even I don't know what I would do in a situation like this if I ran out of parries. But ideally what you want to do is you want to be able to like capitalize on the parry. So if I were looking at this, maybe like going backwards, I'm trying to find like maybe a position where he parries and kind of stops. Let's see if we can go back to it, right? So he's stationary here for a little bit. That's 1 big swing. And then a dodge. He's running up to you. Right, I would not parry right here. I wouldn't have parried right here. Why? Because he's coming in multiple times. He's trying to purposely, like, I love this about the interaction of the game. Pompey is purposely burning your parry meter. He's burning your assist on purpose. So he comes in for you. Not this move. This one's fine to parry. Right here. 1, 2, and big swing, you have to dodge it. If I were you, I would have just dodged all 3 times because you don't have a heavy, you know what I mean? You don't have a defensive unit or a stun unit to take these parries safely. I would have dodged all 3 times, and then I would have been able to go at him and do whatever it was over here, right? But this is a situation that doesn't benefit you the most because you also don't have an evasive assist. So even if you run out of the parries, if you swap into an evasive assist on the red, they typically will still dodge. It's sometimes it's finicky. For the most part, it just works. And you see now he was standing there for a good bit of time. You know what I mean? So you'd be okay. He had iframes, he'd be fine. So I'm not referring to him getting hit. I'm referring to him not having any meter to parry the enemy anymore. And he's only parried the enemy to get them up to 22. Look how much stun meter is required, right? Like all of that days, and you're not getting there. And you're playing an anomaly team where you need to be on top of the enemy at all times. This is also a reason why I said I wouldn't have used Nicole, not because her buffs aren't good, but because you benefit more in this particular situation using someone else. But this isn't to take away from the run. I don't want to take away. Jelli, you're doing a good job. I don't want to take away from your run, right? I'm just telling you things that you could improve upon so that when you do it again, it's much easier for you to get these clears across the board. And see, this is something that kind of sucks about Nicole. You see her orb? Pompey is so heavy, he doesn't give a fuck. Gravity doesn't affect him. The orb is pulling him in. He's standing on his sword. He is pole vaulting on his sword. Excuse me, he doesn't care. Then when he lands, he moves out of the way. Your defense shred no longer exists. Good assault. Get the burn. There you go. And I would have went right back into Piper. I would have held these ults for a little bit because if I'm not mistaken, when you left off on Piper, where is it at? I'm using the wrong like left and rights too. I need to be going frame by frame, huh? There's burn right there. So boom, you got a burn. You need to be abusing disorders. That's Piper's whole thing, is racking up that stuff so fast. Boom, there's a disorder right there. And you see how much more. Let's go back real quick. You see the physical, how much more there is. So I would burn right here. You're going to get a burn. Burn and then disorder, right? Because it triggered off of the previous one, the previous stuff from Piper. I would have gone right back into Piper and did it again. Or I'd go into Nicole and ult and then go into Piper and start it up, right? But I would save Bernice's ult because you don't need to trigger another burn. Double flamethrower for damage reduction. You're getting the damage reduction no matter what. The disorders are helping you against this boss more than the damage reduction right now, because it's creating big pops. And if we pay attention to the meter, we still don't have any assist meter, right? Nicole has no EX meter. She's building it up slowly. Lucy has no meter to do spin to win. Bernice is running out of nitro fuel and she's low on EX meter. When you're playing these teams, meter management is crucial because it sets you up for a make or break. Now, what's gonna happen is now you're going into the stun. Look at how close you're at. You're at 89. A couple more hits and you're gonna get that stun. When you get the stun, even anomaly or attack DPS, cash out, right? You want as many resources as possible so you can cash out during the stun, because that's the most damage anyone can do in the game during that window. You don't have any meter. You just burn more EX meter from both characters, actually. And unfortunate, this has happened to me before too, Nicole did not trigger stun. She started it, but she didn't trigger it. Now, two things might have been the reason for this. One, you're playing on manual mode, so you held it. it might have been on accident, but you wanted it to, you could have gone back and forth, right? That's happened to me a couple times. We did it in the last stream. It is what it is. So you're triggering stun with Piper. You use Nicole and you go right back into Piper. Now, this is just using manual chain attack, right? If you're using manual chain attack, what ends up happening, or a situation that you could have done, trigger with Nicole, come out, spin the wind with Piper, pop the anomaly, right, from Assault, switch tech back into Nicole, charge up her orb, trigger another chain attack with Nicole, go back into Piper or go into Bernice, whoever you need to go into, right? And this is why I was telling you earlier about the meter, because now you have no meter on Nicole, no ultimate, and Bernice has no meter. You are going to run out of all your meter in this particular. Oh, you have ult though. You have ult. So maybe ult can help here. You get a full stack of meter, full stack of butter. But you see how you came out with Nicole and you're swinging around. You don't have anything because she has no meter. And if you pay attention, look up here in the top left. She has no meter. There's no way you're building this meter. There's no way you're building this meter before this goes away. So your best case scenario would have been to double click switch so that Bernice swaps into Nicole. Nicole does nothing. You instantly swap out, go into Piper, and you pop ult. You cash out on as much damage as you can. Good. Spin to win. Yeah, see, and it was just a little too slow to be in there. But now you have 5 assist points again. Excuse me. So now we have another chance to play it, right? Okay, better. Good, good. You see how the disorder stopped him? This is why I was telling you, another reason rather, that I was telling you, you want to abuse disorder with this team. Disorders have interrupts. Anomalies, and I'm pretty sure it's disorders and anomalies, but I could be wrong. It might just be disorders. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. What's happening here? He's coming in for the attack. Oh, it's the burn? Okay, so it's anomalies. The burn stops him from moving. And you accidentally, you were prepared for it. You know what I mean? You were prepared for the stun or the parry, which is fine. But if you would have paid attention, or if you pay attention, I'm not saying you're not. I'm saying if you keep that in mind, that's the better way for me to say that. If you keep in mind where the flames are, we can see that flame right down here, it's almost ready to go, almost ready to pop. Couple more hits, you're gonna get that burn off. In this case, you work for the burn, you save your assist point. He's coming at you, you already got it out. You already got it out. You knew he was coming, which means that you knew you were gonna get that burn. I would have swapped into Piper, knowing I'm gonna get the burn, knowing it's gonna stop him from moving. Spin to win. Or at least build up meter. Right? Nicole, you're not worried about the damage fighting this guy right now because you're not building up that window fast enough for Nicole's orb to be taken full advantage of because he keeps moving around. You know what I mean? Pompey is not stopping. The only time Pompey stops like one every 5th attack or some crap like that. So it's hard for you to lock him down with the defensive orbs. It'd be easier for you to use Nicole for the parry if you need to. Keep building her meter. Save all of her energy unless you're overcapped. If you're overcapped, don't worry about it. But save her energy for the stun. Good parry. And I would have swapped right back into Piper. Exactly. Let it go. See right there? Let that go. Something about anomaly. When you start an attack and it's building up anomaly, for whatever reason, Zenless won't trigger the anomaly until the attack is finished. So when this attack is lined up, boom, 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 right there, let that bad boy go. You see how you're spinning, but it's still there? It's dumb. It's dumb. Let that bad boy go. You swapped in too early right here. And unless you knew the cooldown. If this is a cooldown thing, that's a little different. Yeah, and you're burning all of your meter. You're doing it again. You're burning all your meter and your resources before you even trigger the ultimate or before you trigger the stun. You're going right into it again. No meter. Nicole's about to get some energy. She's got it now. Good trigger on the assault. EX, yep, swap out. Spin to win. Nicole, there you go. Ooh, you should not have done up orb. That might have been an accident. I do it all the time. But up orb, it takes too long. In that situation, it takes too long. You use up orb for fake Oki. I call it fake Oki because Oki really doesn't exist in this game, but the concept is still the same. You shoot the orb up so that it comes down at a delayed, timing, so you avoid or do whatever you want. Yeah, but you're gonna get it here. You're gonna get this 20K, which is good. Yep, dodging. This is another one. You made a mistake right here, which is a little, it's, whatever. So you see how you already have it filled up, the anomaly meter? You should have hit him a couple times, popped the anomaly, and then used your ult. Because now, just like we talked about in chat, right? All of the stuff going on, you're not going to be able to get the finisher. He can't interrupt here. No. He's not interrupting. What I'm saying is, hold on, let me show you. So pay attention to where the anomaly meter is, right? It's filled up. Now, he hasn't actually touched Pompeii yet, which means this meter was already filled up before the ultimate. So what should have happened was dodge into the dodge counter, get the hit, pop anomaly, pop ult. That way you don't have to play dodge games anymore. You would have avoided all of the big hits just like he did. But now you lose out because you're playing on time, right? You got 7 seconds left. You're playing on time. You lost out on whatever anomaly she would have built up with her ult. You lost out on it, and you might have had enough opportunity or enough time to spin to win, because when she pops ult, she goes directly into spin. It's instantly fast. Builds up like crazy. Shouldn't have swapped off. You should have. Oh, well, you didn't have any meter. Never mind. You had to swap off. That's kind of unfortunate. Oh, yeah. You skirted on that 20K, man. That's such a cool, finisher right there. She looks like she's parkouring. She's vaulting over Pompeii. That's so cool. You skirted on that 20K, though. Oh, my goodness.
We did.
And not bad, Jelli. Let's look at the build. Yeah, not bad, but you could absolutely clean it up so that you get an even higher score. And like I said, if anything, I just wouldn't even use Nicole with this team, just because you can get more out of her somewhere else. So we have Bernice with Electro Lip Gloss, level 60, really good. What stats are we looking at here? 410 on the AP. That's AP, right? Yeah, nice. Energy regen is 1.56. Okay. 3,000 attack, pretty solid. 340 on the AP, good. 2,700 attack, pretty solid. Weeping Gemini, nice. Is this okay? W2. If you can build this up, because Weeping Gemini we can get for free, right? We can craft those. Try and get that to W5 at the least. You ought to be good to go. And then Weeping Cradle on Nicole. Ooh, not bad. Fun fact, you might actually want to use Nicole's W engine, because this will give you see how you only have 1.56 energy? Her W engine is going to give you the energy you're looking for, and it's also going to give you the ether from her kit, the bonuses. And you got double 4-piece freedoms. Okay, does this work both ways? 4-piece freedom on Fizz still works for 4-piece on Nicole. And I like analyzing footage. I love analyzing footage and whatnot, so it kind of is what it is, right? If you guys send that stuff in, I have it in my Discord section and I'll go through it and watch it. And then are we rocking pin? Yeah, we are. So that's 48% pin. Ooh, good stuff here. So pin Fizz. I'd need to use the calculator, but I think you might benefit more from pin on Piper over here. But actually, maybe not though, because you're not using Piper's W engine either. So you're missing out on your physical bonuses. So maybe that wouldn't be the best for you there. I could see that. Got to F the Nicole. Yeah, you got to put F on the Nicole for sure. I mean, you got to build them all out. It's definitely going to take some time. Absolutely. But I mean, you're getting there. You're definitely getting there. So it's nothing too crazy. There's a lot of work that you can do to improve that. But I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's solid. I think it's literally just paying attention and cleaning up the gameplay. That's all it is. And then of course, leveling up some of your characters. If you can get more copies of them, Mindscapes, because you have M0 Piper. So you're missing a fork ton of damage. And then is it M4? M4 Nicole, I think, gives you the crit rate. Or maybe it's M6. In this team, it doesn't matter, but you're solid. If you use Fang, penetration gets a lot better on Piper. Yeah, exactly. And like the chat is helping you out, right? Like they're giving you tons of advice on what you can and can't run. So I definitely take it, you know, but it's super good. Definitely good stuff.
If you made it this far to the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub, all the different type of stuff. EO didn't give me an outro, so I'm gonna have to do it for him. Please leave the like and comment. I need the money. Please make them pay me, please.